The training field on planet Draxos buzzed with noise. Giant banners waved in the wind. Alien soldiers, tall, armored, and proud, stood in long rows. They came from different species, each one strong, powerful, and skilled in battle. This was the Galactic Defense Academy, where the best warriors from many worlds trained together. Today was special. A new human recruit had joined them. His name was Cole Maddox. Cole stood at the edge of the training ground, quiet and still. His armor looked strange. It was nothing like the shiny, sleek gear worn by others. His suit was patched together, full of dents and burn marks. Wires stuck out from one shoulder. The helmet had a crack sealed with tape. It looked like junked out. The aliens noticed. A blue-scaled warrior named Captain Varak burst into laughter. He pointed at Cole's armor and said loudly, "Is that thing even safe? It looks like a walking trash can." Others joined in. A four-armed soldier from the Tragon species shook his head. "Humans really are backward. They send this to train with us?" Even the trainers looked confused. One whispered, "That's human tech that can't protect him in a real fight." Cole said nothing. He just tightened a strap on his chest. Platon stared straight ahead. The head trainer, Commander Jerna, stepped forward and raised her voice. "Today's drill is a live test. Low-powered plasma rounds, 2 teams. Non-lethal rules. Get ready." Teams formed quickly. Cole was placed with a group of mixed-species rookies. No one spoke to him. No one trusted the strange human in the junk armor. The countdown started. 3, 2, 1, go. Soldiers sprinted across the field. Plasma bolts lit up the sky bright. Blue and green flashes. Cole moved steadily, not fast but not slow either. His steps were heavy, his armor clunky. A Tragon soldier named Zev fired at Cole's chest from medium range. Everyone expected Cole to dive, or at least dodge. He didn't. Bolt hit him straight in the chest. Boom. Smoke puffed into the air. Dust rose around him. The crowd gasped. One alien even shouted, "He's down. I told you that armor was garbage." But when the dust cleared, Cole was still standing. Not only standing, he hadn't even moved. The burn mark was there, but the armor hadn't cracked. No hole. No sign of damage. Varak's smile faded. Commander Jerna narrowed her eyes. She looked down at her monitor. Power level was correct. That hit should have knocked him flat. Another soldier fired again, this time aiming at Cole's arm. Crack! Another clean hit. Cole turned slightly, looking annoyed more than scared. He raised his arm and returned fire, tagging 2 enemies with perfect accuracy. Within moments, Cole's team won the round. Silence fell over the training field. Someone muttered, "What is that armor made of?" Cole walked off the field, armor clanking softly. He didn't smile, didn't boast. Just walked straight past the aliens who had mocked him. Later that day, Cole sat alone in the locker bay. He peeled off the top half of his armor. Underneath, he was sweaty and covered in small bruises. The suit had done its job, but it wasn't perfect. He picked up a small welding tool and began fixing a loose panel. Sparks danced around him. His fingers moved fast. He had done this before many times. A small alien, barely waist-high, walked over. It was a young trainee from the Ilari race, curious and quiet. "Is it true?" the alien asked. "That armor is human-made?" Cole looked at him. "Yeah, every piece of it. But it looks broken." Cole smiled slightly. "It looks like it's been through hell, because it has." The alien tilted its head. "What's it made from?" Cole wiped sweat from his brow. "Old ship plating, burned tank shells, reactor, insulation. Some parts came from a mining rig. Others, I don't even remember." The alien stared. "And it works?" Cole nodded. "Better than anything else I've worn." Before the alien could ask more, a loud voice echoed through the room. "Human." It was Captain Varrock. He stormed in, flanked by 2 other officers. "You cheated in the drill." Cole didn't flinch. "No, I didn't. That armor, it's not standard. It's dangerous." Cole stood up. "It's legal. No shields. No auto-targeting. Just old metal and muscle." Varrock stepped closer. "You'll let us examine it." Cole crossed his arms. "No." Commander Jerna arrived just in time. Enough. The suit passed safety checks. The human followed the rules. "The matter is closed." Varrock growled, but backed off. "This isn't over." Later that night, Cole lay on his bunk, staring at the ceiling. The room was quiet except for the hum of machines. His armor sat nearby, dark, dented and silent. He remembered Mira's voice, clear in his head. "Ugly things survive." He whispered back, "You were right." Outside, cameras replayed the drill. Footage across the Academy network. Word was spreading. A human in broken armor had taken a direct hit and didn't fall. Whispers traveled from room to room, from species to species. The joke about junk armor wasn't funny anymore. It was a mystery, and mysteries always bring fear. Long before Cole ever stepped onto the training field at Draxos, before the aliens laughed at his armor, before the world saw what it could do, he had made a long journey. A journey to a place most people had forgotten. A cold, broken moon called Helion-9. No one lived there anymore. It was once a mining colony, but after the mines ran dry, the place was left to rot. Ships avoided it. Signals didn't reach it. But Cole had come here for a reason. He was looking for someone. Her name was Mira Kale, a human engineer, old and half forgotten. Some said she was crazy. Others said she was dangerous. But all agreed on one thing. She could build anything. Cole stepped out of his small ship and looked around. Gray dust covered everything. The wind howled low and sharp. The buildings were rusted and broken, like skeletons. Then he heard a voice crackle through his cum. "You came." "I told myself you would." He turned toward a glowing door down a hill. The voice came again. "Come in, soldier. Don't step on the yellow wires. They bite." Inside the workshop, Myra's workshop, was a maze of metal. Parts were stacked everywhere: old engines, broken droids, cracked armor plates. The walls flickered. With sparks and strange machines humming with life, she stood in the middle, goggles on, gray hair tied back, hands covered in oil. Her eyes were sharp. "Name's Mira," she said. "You're Cole. I checked your record. Infantry, 2 years. Nearly got yourself vaporized on Fargan Prime." Cole gave a small nod. "I need armor. Real armor." Mira laughed, deep and raspy. "You think I've got a suit lying around waiting for you?" "No, but I heard you can build one." She walked over to a table, brushed off a tarp, and revealed something underneath: pieces of scrap metal, some thick and burned, others smooth and strange. "I don't build shiny armor, Cole," she said. "I build things that don't die. Ugly, rough, terrifying things. That's what lasts in war." Cole stepped closer. "I don't care how it looks. I want something that keeps me alive. I've seen what the galaxy throws at us." Mira stared at him, long and hard. Then she asked one question. "Are you afraid of pain?" Cole looked down. Thought about his past. Friends lost. Burned scars on his arm. The time a shell tore through his squad, and he was the only one left. "No." He said. "Good," she said, and threw him a welding tool. "Then grab a plate and help me." Building the armor for 3 weeks, they worked. Mira didn't sleep much. Neither did Cole. They welded old tank plates, bolted shock-absorbing panels, stitched in kinetic dampeners from mining suits. Some materials came from wrecked warships. Others she wouldn't even name. At one point, Cole picked up a strange black piece with glowing cracks. "What's this?" Mira looked serious. "That's from a downed Sithir dreadnought. Took me years to steal it. That material absorbs heat like a sponge." Cole frowned. "Won't anyone recognize it?" Mira grinned. Not once I bake it into this chest plate. They added no AI, no smart targeting, no stealth fields. It was raw, heavy, and nearly impossible to carry, but it felt alive, and it was indestructible. The warning on the last night. As Cole strapped the final piece across his back, Mira sat on a crate. Watching him, she looked tired. "There's something you need to understand," she said. "This armor, it's not just tech, it's history. It was born from war, built from loss. Every piece of it came from someone who didn't make it." Cole looked down at his suit. He could feel its weight, not just physical, but something more. Mira continued, "This isn't for parades. It's not for politics, it's for when everything else breaks. And you're still standing." He nodded. "I understand." She leaned forward, voice low, "Then listen carefully. Never let them study it. Not the aliens. Not even humans. If they figure out what it really is, they'll either try to steal it or destroy it." Cole raised an eyebrow. "Why?" She said nothing for a long moment, then whispered, "Because it was designed to scare them." Departure from Helion 9, Cole loaded the armor into his ship. It didn't fit into any standard case. It was too bulky, too rough. He had to strap it into the co-pilot seat. Before he left, Mira gave him one last thing, a strange key. It had no teeth, no edges, just a smooth surface with a symbol he didn't recognize. "What's this?" he asked. "In case it ever locks up," she said. "But don't use it unless you have to." He stared at it. "What does it unlock?" Mira simply said, "The part you haven't seen yet." Back to the present, Cole sat alone in his barracks. On Draxos, watching the playback of the training drill, he watched the plasma bolt strike his chest again and again. No crack. No break. He thought about what Mira had told him. The armor wasn't just protection. It was a message, a reminder that humans didn't come from safety. They came from chaos. And they built things to survive it. He picked up the strange key from his desk and turned it slowly in his fingers. Then he put it away. He wasn't ready to use it. Not yet. The sun on Draxos rose slowly over the training academy, casting long shadows across the gray barracks and wide-open field. Cole woke early, just before the alarms. His armor stood next to his bed, leaning against the wall like a silent guardian. It still had the burn mark from the plasma hit, but no damage beneath. Cole ran a hand over the chest plate and whispered, "Still holding together." But not everyone was pleased about that. Mistrust in the ranks in the command room, high above the training grounds. Several alien officers gathered around a large screen. Commander Jerna, Captain Varuk, and others reviewed slow-motion footage of Cole taking the plasma shot. "He should have gone down," Varuk growled. "That blast could punch through a Bracken war suit." Another officer, a thin green creature with flickering eyes, leaned in. "It's human, but it's not standard military. Could be ancient tech, or something illegal." Jerna narrowed her eyes. "It's old, patched, and raw. But it survived. And that's all I care about. Until we have proof it's a threat, he stays in the program." Varuk clenched his fists. "He's hiding something. And I'll find out what." New orders that afternoon. All cadets were called to the training grounds. Today's drill was different. No teams, no paint rounds. Real weapons. Real targets. They were told it was for advanced testing. To simulate actual war zones. Cole stood at the edge of the group, arms folded across his chest. He could feel the stares, the whispers. "That's the guy with the junk armor. Why is he even allowed to wear that?" It took a direct plasma hit. "That's not possible." Jerna's voice boomed over the comms. "Each of you will face 5 automated defense drones. Live fire, no assistance. If your suit can't handle it, you fail." One by one, the cadets stepped into the simulation field. Explosions echoed. Some passed. Some failed. A few were carried out injured. Then, it was Cole's turn. The simulation field. Cole stepped onto the field. Drones hovered into place, sleek black machines with glowing red sensors. Each was armed with plasma rifles and motion scanners. A voice crackled through the speaker. "Begin test in 3, 2, 1. The drones moved fast. The first fired from the left plasma bolt to the shoulder. Cole didn't dodge. The bolt hit, but the armor held. The second came from the right, rapid shots to the chest. Sparks flew, but Cole stayed standing. The crowd watching from behind the shielded glass stared in disbelief. Why isn't he moving? Is he crazy? He's tanking the hits. Then Cole moved. He sprinted forward, grabbed one of the drones midair, and smashed it against the ground. His armor amplified his strength, just enough to overpower the drone's thrusters. Another drone fired at point-blank range. Cole turned, and the blast hit him in the back. The impact shook the ground. Dust rose. Everyone held their breath. And when it cleared, he was still standing. After the test, Cole exited the field without a word. His armor smoked slightly, but again no damage. Varrock waited near the edge, arms crossed. "That armor," Varrock said, "defies physics. It holds up," Cole replied. "I want to test it myself." Cole looked him in the eye. "Go ahead." "But you won't like the results," Varrock smirked. "We'll see." Unauthorized experiment. That night, Varrock met with 2 alien scientists in a hidden tech lab. They had taken fragments of the plasma drones that had hit Cole and analyzed the energy levels. One scientist hissed. The energy readings were normal. If anything, stronger than usual. "So why didn't it pierce the armor?" Varrock asked. The second scientist, a short creature with 6 glowing eyes, frowned. "That suit is absorbing energy. Not just deflecting it, like it's feeding on the blasts." Varrock's voice dropped low. "Then it's a weapon." He turned to them. "Tomorrow, I want you to run a full weapons test. No training simulation. I want to see what happens when we really hit that thing." The next day, sabotage without warning, the Academy ordered Cole into a new test alone. They told him it was part of the next phase. He entered the same simulation field, but this time, something felt wrong. No trainers, no medics standing by, no camera crews. Only one drone hovered silently in the center, larger than before. A voice buzzed from the comms. "Begin." The drone opened fire immediately, but these weren't training blasts. They were real at full combat strength. The first hit knocked Cole to his knees. Not through the armor, but enough to rattle his bones. "What the hell?" he muttered. More blasts came. Cole rolled, dodged, and fired back with his sidearm, barely keeping up. One bolt caught him in the side, throwing him into a wall. The armor whined, shifting, adjusting. It glowed faintly at the joints. Something Mira had never told him about. The drone hovered closer. Cole gritted his teeth. "You want a real test?" He launched himself forward, slammed into the drone, and ripped off its firing arm. Then the drone exploded. Aftermath. Cole limped out of the field, armor smoking, chest rising and falling fast. He was bruised, burned slightly, but alive. Commander Jerna was already waiting. What the hell was that? Cole demanded. Jerna was furious, but not at him. Someone replaced the drone protocols. That was not authorized. It could have killed you. Cole looked toward the command center windows where Varrock stood, watching. He now understood. This wasn't about training anymore. It was a threat. The training base on Draxos was quiet at night. The alien moons hung heavy in the sky, casting a faint silver light over the metal buildings. Most cadets were asleep. The only sounds were distant patrol drones humming through the sky. But tonight, someone was awake. Inside his barracks room, Cole sat on his bunk, armor beside him. The suit had taken more punishment than ever before during the test, but it had survived. Just like Mira promised. He looked at the burn marks across the chest plate and muttered, "You're not just armor, are you?" The room felt colder than usual. He checked the air system, no issues. Then the lights flickered. Intruders outside Cole's room. 3 dark figures moved silently through the hallway. They wore black stealth armor and no insignias. No alarms sounded. These weren't students. They were commandos brought in for one job: steal the armor. They reached Cole's door. One tapped a device against the lock-silent override. Inside, Cole heard the faintest sound, a shift in pressure. He froze. Years of combat instincts kicked in. He slid down silently from the bed and grabbed a tool from under the bunk. His armor was still next to him, but half open, still cooling from repairs. Then the door burst open. The first intruder charged, expecting to find a sleeping target. Instead, Cole launched the tool straight into his helmet, knocking him sideways. Dove for the armor half in. Chest plate clicking in place just as the second attacker fired. The energy blast hit his shoulder. The armor flared. No damage. The lights in the room blew out. Armor. Wakes up. Cole rolled across the floor, finishing the lock-in of the leg plates and boots. The moment the helmet clicked on, the armor hissed like it recognized danger. A faint red glow pulsed at the joints. Power surged through the suit. The third intruder lunged with a shock blade. Cole caught his wrist mid-air and crushed it. The commando screamed. Cole spun, using the attacker's own body to slam into the second. The armor moved smoother than ever before. It wasn't just protection now. It was helping him fight. The first intruder recovered, raised his weapon, and fired a high-frequency stun shot. The beam hit Cole's helmet. The armor flashed bright, absorbing the energy and sending it down his arm. Cole's fist glowed, and he punched the attacker straight through the wall. Alarms finally sound. The building's security finally woke up. Sirens howled. Lights flashed red. Defense droids rolled out into the hallways. Commander Jurna got the call within seconds. "Unknown attackers in human sector," the officer reported. "Possible infiltration." Jurna's blood ran cold. She knew who would order something like this. The aftermath of the fight. Cole stood in the hallway, surrounded by unconscious intruders and broken metal panels. His breathing was heavy. His armor steamed. Soldiers and officers ran in from all sides, weapons raised. Then stopped in shock at the scene. Cole raised both hands slowly. They weren't students. They were professionals. Jurna pushed through the crowd. Her eyes widened at the sight of the scorched walls, damaged floor, and Cole, standing unharmed. "Stand down," she ordered the others. Cole turned to her. They tried to steal the armor. They knew where to hit. Someone gave them instructions. Jurna clenched her jaw. "I'll handle this. You get that armor checked. You may not be the only target." Video leaked, but while Jurna tried to keep the ambush secret, someone had already leaked the footage. Security cams showed it, all 3 unknown operatives breaking into Cole's room. The brutal hand-to-hand fight, and Cole's armor glowing like something alive. The video hit the galactic net within hours. It spread like fire across star systems, military groups, black market tech guilds, and political circles. Everyone was talking about the human armor that couldn't be broken, and might even be thinking. Aliens began to panic on the trade moon of Bakaris. An arms dealer paused the footage mid-frame. "That's not just armor," he whispered. "That's tech I've only seen once before in the Relic Wars." On the science station of the Varn Collective, researchers analyzed the light waves coming off Cole's armor. It's responding to threats before the wearer reacts. Is it neural linked? No, it's something deeper. Meanwhile, on a high orbit warship, an alien general snarled, "If the humans have more of this, they won't need fleets. They'll just send one man." Varrock denies involvement. Back on Draxos, Commander Jurna held a private meeting with Captain Varrock. "I know it was you," she said. "Only high-level officers could override Cole's room systems. Only you would risk a stunt like this." Varrock sat calmly, tail swaying behind him. Do you have proof? No, Jerna said. But I have instincts, Varrock smirked. Then, trust your instincts. The armor scares you too, doesn't it? Jerna didn't answer. But her silence said enough. Cole's decision that night. Cole sat on the roof of the barracks, armor beside him. The stars above Draxos twinkled quietly. He held Myra's strange key in his hand. The one she gave him on Helion 9. He remembered her voice. Don't use it unless you have to. He looked at the armor still glowing faintly at the seams, like it was waiting. Cole whispered, "What are you hiding?" Then he placed the key into a hidden port behind the chest plate. The armor clicked dot and a new panel opened, one he had never seen before. Inside, a single word blinked in red. Phase 2 ready. Cole stared at it dot, then the red word faded. Replaced by something else. Do not activate unless you're ready to change the rules. The footage of the ambush spread across the galaxy faster than anyone expected. It showed everything: 3 masked operatives breaking into a human cadet's room, a brutal fight, and one man standing strong inside armor that no known weapon could break. The armor wasn't just tough anymore. It looked alive, and that terrified everyone. Emergency meeting of the Galactic Council in the floating city of Saravan. High above a gas giant, the Galactic Council gathered for an emergency session. Members from every major race attended: Zarn, Tragan, Varn, Ilari, and even a silent observer from the Human Alliance. The speaker's platform rose above the circle of leaders. Screens around the chamber replayed the footage of Cole's armor. In action. Boom. A blast to the back. Crash. Armor glowing red. Fists crushing a drone. The chamber was silent when the clip ended. Then the Tragan war rep growled, "That's not armor, that's a battlefield weapon." The Varn science minister added, "No known material resists plasma at that level. It's absorbing energy, converting it. Possibly ancient human tech or worse, something new." One delegate leaned forward. "If this is just a prototype, what if humans have already mass-produced them?" The room grew colder. The human representative speaks. An older woman named Envoy Risa Talon stood slowly. She represented Earth and the human colonies. Her voice was calm. "The armor you just watched was made by a retired engineer on a forgotten moon. One human, one suit." The Zarn delegate snapped. "Do you expect us to believe humans don't have more?" Risa held her ground. "We have no record of mass production, no military plans. That suit was personal, built for survival, not war." But it didn't matter. The fear had already spread. A vote called. The Varn delegate raised a motion. Declare the human armor as a high-risk technology. Demand its surrender. Ban all suits of similar design. Arguments flew across the room. Some called it overreach. Others said it was necessary for peace. Some demanded that the human Cole Maddox be arrested immediately. Others warned that cornering him could cause more chaos. Finally, the council voted. Result: passed. The human armor was declared dangerous technology. Back on Draxos, the ultimatum commander Jerna received the message. Just after midnight. She called Cole to her office. He entered wearing a simple shirt, armor pieces locked away in his room. "You've seen the news?" she asked. He nodded. "The council wants the suit," she said. "They've labeled it a threat to galactic stability." Cole didn't blink. "So they're scared of something they don't understand. They're scared of what it might become," Jerna replied. "And frankly, so am I." There was a pause. "You need to hand it over," she said softly. "No," Cole replied. "You'll be protected." "They promised, they lied," Cole interrupted. "The ones who broke into my room weren't here to protect me. They were here to take it by force." Jerna sat back in her chair. "You know what this means?" she asked. Cole nodded again. "They'll come for it anyway." Galactic news networks erupt. Headlines spread across every system. "Human soldier refuses council order, keeps forbidden's armor. Is this the next war? One man against the galaxy?" Galactic peace shaken by human defiance. Some praised Cole as a symbol of resistance. Others called him a time bomb. A few even begged to join him. Scientists studied the footage on the Varn research station. Advanced AI ran scans on every frame of the armor in use. One result stood out. Energy reaction before impact. The armor seemed to sense attacks before they landed. Another scan revealed minor structural shifts, plates moving slightly on their own. One scientist whispered, "It's learning." Another added, "This isn't just armor, this is adaptive tech. Possibly self-aware." The lab went silent. Then alarms rang. The council had just declared a full ban on the research. Mira's message back on Draxos. Cole sat in his room, armor laid out before him. He activated a chip hidden deep in the chest plate. Mira's final message. Her face appeared as a flickering hologram. "If you're seeing this, they found you," she said. "And they want the suit." She leaned closer, serious. This armor was never meant to be understood by them. It was made from pain, loss, and survival. Every part of it remembers something. Cole stared at the screen, heart pounding. "You'll be called a danger, a rebel, maybe even a terrorist. But don't forget this. You didn't start the fire. They did. You just refused to burn." The hologram faded. The final request. Jurna returned to Cole's room one last time. She looked tired, conflicted. "I'm giving you a chance," she said. "If you leave now, before they arrive, I won't stop you." "You'll be blamed," Cole said. She nodded. "I already am." He stood up slowly, putting on the armor piece by piece. As the chest plate locked in, the suit gave off a low hum, calm but powerful. Jurna looked at him one last time. "What is that suit, really?" Cole answered without hesitation. Proof that humans were never weak. The red alert sirens blared through Draxus's northern sector. Security shutters rolled down over windows. Patrol drones hovered in the corridors. The council's ban had triggered immediate lockdown protocols. Cole Maddox knew it was only a matter of time before soldiers arrived to seize his armor by force. He sat in his barracks, fully suited, the armor's hum echoing softly around him. Every joint and plate was ready, but his mind raced with memories of Mira's warning. If they figure out what it really is, they'll either try to steal it or destroy it. His own squad comrades he had fought beside stood just outside, waiting for orders. They believed in him until that morning. Now sealed behind the heavy door, Cole realized he was completely alone. The knock at the door, a firm, mechanical voice echoed through the intercom. "Cole Maddox, you are ordered to surrender high-risk technology. Exit the room with hands raised." Cole pressed his back against the wall and closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of Earth, of Myra's lonely moon workshop, of every time his armor had saved him. He would not give it up. The intercom continued, colder now. "Last warning. Open the door." Instead, Cole activated the door override with a code Mira had given him. The lock clicked quietly, too quietly. He tested it. The door slid open an inch. Outside, 4 soldiers in full riot armor held energy rifles. Among them was Sergeant Davin, Cole's longtime friend. "Davin?" Cole said softly. Davin's visor reflected starlight briefly. He spoke without emotion. "Orders, Maddox. Step out, no tricks." Cole slid out slowly, hands in plain sight. The corridor lights glared white above them. "Sergeant," Cole said, voice steady. "You don't have to do this." Davin flicked his head toward the other soldiers. "I'm following orders. The council demands the suit." Cole shook his head. "They won't understand. They'll tear it apart. They'll break it and kill me. One human life isn't worth more than galactic peace," Davin replied. Cole looked at his friend's visor, unreadable. "Peace?" he whispered. "This suit saved lives, mine, yours. You'd betray me for politics?" A tense silence stretched. Then the lead soldier raised her rifle. Hands on the wall, now. The ambush within Cole complied, placing his hands on the cold metal wall, but inside his armor, a sensor glowed. He felt the subtle shift of plates locking around his torso, sealing inner mechanisms. He remembered the hidden compartment Mira showed him when they first built the suit. A secret mode, Phase 2. Activation required precise manual input under pressure. As the soldiers moved closer, Cole's fingers tapped a hidden sequence on the inside wrist panel. "Sir," he's slipping his hands away. One trooper shouted "DAVON." Raised an eyebrow. "Hold him." Two soldiers lunged. But Cole had prepared. In one swift motion, the armor shifted plates, sliding outward with pneumatic hiss, and he released a burst of stored kinetic energy. The soldiers slammed into the corridor walls with a deafening crack. Davin jumped back, shock in his stance. "Cole, what?" Cole didn't wait to explain. He twisted, grabbed Davin's rifle, and threw it to the ground. A second later, a stun net shot from a shoulder mount ensnared another trooper. "Run!" Cole hissed to Davin. Davin took a shaky step forward. Weapons discharged stun blasts into Cole's direction, but the armor shrugged them off, diverting the energy into harmless flickers. Cole grabbed Davin's arm. "Are you coming or not?" Conflict warred across Davin's bowed head. Finally, he nodded. Together, they bolted down the corridor. Cole's armor boots pounded metal flooring. Davin raced beside him, unarmed but determined. The locked hangar. They reached the hangar bay. Massive doors stood sealed. Security drones hovered around, scanning for intruders. Behind the drones, a single transport ship waited, engines glowing. Cole cursed under his breath. These doors required a squad-level clearance. No override possible. Davin pointed up above the control panel. It's a maintenance hatch." They sprinted to a side ladder at the wall's edge. Cole boosted Davin up first. Then he climbed, armor joints creaking but holding at the top. A hatch opened easily with a hidden latch. They crawled into a narrow conduit filled with wiring. Cole's chestplate indicator glowed green. Phase 2 now active. He could feel the suit preparing for something more. They crawled until they spotted the hangar's interior ceiling. A maintenance platform hovered above the drones. Cole tapped the platform's release lever with his armored hand. The platform dropped quietly beside them. Inside the hangar, they dropped onto the platform's deck. Below, drones buzzed, oblivious. Cole reached into a utility belt and pulled out 2 stun grenades standard issue for cover. He tossed one toward the drones. It exploded in a silent flash, releasing electromagnetic pulses that disabled the patrolling machines instantly. Davin yelped. "That was no time," Cole said. Already running toward the transport, the hangar doors began to open with a mechanical groan. Soldiers flooded in behind them. Cole vaulted onto the ship's boarding ramp. Davin followed. Inside, Cole dashed to the cockpit. Panels lit up, awaiting his command. Behind them, Davin dragged himself inside. Breathless but alive, Cole punched the launch sequence override, another trick Myra had hidden deep in the controls. The ship's engines roared to life. Pursued by guns, the hangar doors slid shut, just as energy rifles started firing through the gap. Bolts pinged off the hull. Cole gripped the controls. "Hang on!" He slammed the takeoff throttle forward. The ship lurched upward, scraping the roof before soaring into the sky. Below, the training base erupted in chaos. Soldiers raced after them, firing down. Drones reactivated and joined the volley. Cole twisted the ship side to side, using its advanced thrusters to dodge plasma bolts. Davin held on tight, eyes wide. "Where are we going?" Davin shouted over the roar. "Helion 9, Cole replied. "Back to Myra," Davin winced. "That place is supposed to be dead." Cole glared at him. "It's the only place left I trust." Revelations mid-flight as the planet's surface fell away, Cole felt the armor's hum grow stronger. The chest plate glowed softly under his shirt, as if guiding him. Davin peered at the glowing seams through the cockpit glass. "What are you hiding in there?" "It's changing." Cole didn't answer. He monitored the ship's sensors. A squadron of patrol cruisers jumped into the system, alien ships cutting off their escape path. Enemy ships incoming. The comms warned. Cole's jaw clenched. "Hold on." He activated the ship's stealth field, a feature Myra had engineered from stolen tech. The ship shimmered, its outline bending light. The patrol ships scanned but found nothing. Confused, they moved on. Davin exhaled. "That's impressive." Cole managed a half smile. All credit to Myra. The key's purpose in the quiet moments after escape. Cole held the strange key Myra had given him. He pulled it from a pocket and inserted it into a hidden console beneath the dashboard. The ship shuddered. Panels around the cockpit retracted, revealing a small compartment lined with armored plating. "Phase 2, Cole whispered. On the console, a prompt appeared. "Activate Phase 2? "Why?" Then Cole looked at Davin. "You sure you want to know what this armor can really do?" Davin swallowed hard. "I trust you, Cole." Cole pressed Y. Phase 2 unleashed behind the cockpit bulkhead. A massive hum began. The ship's back wall slid open, revealing a storage bay packed with sealed containers, each one labeled with Myra's symbol. Cole tapped his suit's chestplate interface. The armor's red glow pulsated faster. Outside, the phantom engines whispered. The entire ship's silhouette shimmered with energy. The stealth field flared bright, then vanished, leaving them visible in an uncharted sector. Sensors lit up. 2 unmarked ships had warped in, bearing down fast. Davin gripped Cole's arm. "They found us." Cole didn't hesitate. He flipped the activation switch on his chestplate. The armor plates shifted violently, gaps widening, vents opening. The red glow turned white-hot. A low roar filled the cockpit. On the ship's hull, new panels emerged: rocket launchers, energy emitters, and multi-barrel guns. Myra's containers slid open in the bay, and small drones deployed, attaching to the ship's exterior. Cole locked eyes with Davin. Time to show them why humans never back down. He throttled forward. The escape from Draxos had been narrow, but Cole Maddox's ship now sliced silently through the void toward Helion 9, the newly activated phase. 2 enhancements had turned the vessel into a small but deadly war machine, bristling with weapons and drones. Behind them, the alien patrol cruisers still searched, their scanners hungry for the human fugitive. Contact lost and found as the ship neared the dark, cratered surface of Helion 9. Cole and Davin watched the radar screens carefully. "Contact's fading," Davin said, squinting. "The patrol ships are losing us in the moon's gravity well." Cole nodded. "Good. We need to hide and resupply." But just then, a bright flash lit the cockpit view screen. A massive warship dropped out of hyperspace just ahead, an alien battleship, unmistakably hostile. "Enemies in orbit," Cole said quietly. The battleship's weapon systems powered up, targeting the human ship. A dire situation. Cole's ship darted low, skimming the rocky moon surface, weaving between jagged cliffs and craters. The alien warship unleashed a volley of plasma missiles. Explosions rocked the airless terrain, sending clouds of dust and rock into the void. Cole maneuvered skillfully, but the missiles came fast. One grazed the ship's wing, sending a shower of sparks. Davin shouted, "Shields down to 40%. "We can't outrun them forever," Cole muttered, gripping the controls. The moon base ahead, nestled in a deep crater, was a hidden structure, Myra's old workshop, now upgraded with new defenses. Cole guided the ship toward the narrow entrance. As they landed, drones deployed from the ship's bays swarmed the perimeter, scanning for threats. Inside the workshop, Myra was waiting. She had prepared for this moment. "Welcome home," she said with a tired smile. Cole stepped out, armor humming. Softly, "We don't have long," Myra said. "They'll be here soon." She led them through corridors lined with weapon racks and old war relics. In the central chamber, massive machines powered up repair bays and energy generators, feeding both the armor and ship. Planning the next move, Cole studied the holographic star maps Mira displayed. The council won't stop, he said. They want the armor. They want control, Mira nodded. They fear what they don't understand, and they should. Davin asked, what now? Cole's eyes burned. We fight. Ambush in orbit. Suddenly, alarms blared. Outside, sensors detected multiple enemy ships dropping from hyperspace. The alien fleet had arrived. Prepare defenses, Mira ordered. The battle begins outside. Laser blasts lit the darkness as the alien warships fired on the moon base. Cole climbed into his armor and linked his neural interface. The suit flared to life, plates shifting, sensors sharpening. He moved to the command console, directing drone swarms to intercept enemy fighters. A fierce dual-Cole ship launched from the hangar, rockets blazing. He weaved through enemy fire, returning blasts with precision. An enemy flagship targeted him directly. Cole felt the armor's power surge. He unleashed a massive energy pulse, disabling the flagship's weapons temporarily. A warning back in the command center. Mira's voice was grim. The council won't back down. They want you captured or destroyed. Cole clenched his fists. This is more than a fight for survival, he said. It's a war for freedom. The battle over Helion 9's orbit raged like a storm. Alien warships fired relentlessly, and Cole's ship darted through space like a ghost. Below, Mira's workshop hummed with activity as drones and soldiers prepared for what might come next. But Cole knew this was more than a battle. This was the moment that would decide the fate of humans in the galaxy. The final push. Cole's armor glowed brighter than ever as he prepared for the ultimate attack. Every joint shifted, every plate tightened. His neural link buzzed a sharp clarity unlike anything before. This is it, Cole whispered. Time to show them the human factor. He steered his ship toward the largest alien battleship, the flagship that had led the attack. The flagship opened fire with everything it had. Plasma beams sliced through space, targeting Cole's ship relentlessly. Cole's armor absorbed the hits. His ship dodged and weaved, closing the distance. With a roar, Cole fired his ship's enhanced weapons. Energy missiles slammed into the flagship's shields. The armor's power surged, syncing with the ship's systems. Inside the enemy ship, Cole knew he had only one chance. He activated the boarding sequence. With a burst, his ship docked on the enemy flagship. He entered the ship in full armor, moving silently through corridors filled with stunned guards. His suit adapted, camouflaging him in shadows. The turning point. Cole reached the control room, where the alien admiral waited. You are a fool to come here, the admiral growled. Cole smiled under his helmet. I'm more than that, he said. I'm a human. With a swift move, Cole disabled the ship's weapons and communications. The alien crew panicked. The message back on Helion 9. Mira broadcast a message to the galaxy. This armor is not a weapon of war. It is a symbol of survival. Humans fight because we must, not because we want to. We will not be conquered. The message spread, sparking hope among many species. Peace and respect. The Galactic Council reconvened. But this time, the tone was different. Envoy Risa Talon spoke firmly. We must recognize the strength and difference. Humans are not a threat, they are a force for resilience. The Council voted to lift the ban. Cole's legacy. Cole returned to Helion 9, armor battered but undefeated. Mira smiled. You changed the galaxy. He nodded. Not just the galaxy. We changed ourselves.